So I will now give you an overview of the special collection and the papers that were published or are going to be published in the special collection. So first of all, I wanted to say that I was coordinating editor for this special collection, but really guest editors were Francesca Frontini from the Institute of Computational Linguistics here in Pisa and Daria Fischer from CLARIN. So why a special collection on language datasets reuse? Daria and Barbara already talked a bit about it. But basically, it's for making language datasets reuse feasible and valuable as a research contribution itself, not just a language datasets creation as a one-off project byproduct. So the main idea is that a language dataset cannot leave its first research question that led to the creation of that dataset. So ideally, the authors will publish their research results in a traditional research journal, and then deposit the dataset in open access and ideally together with a data paper that describes the dataset. And that might lead to new research questions from other researchers in that field or in similar fields, and then to the reuse or adaptation of that language dataset, and then to new insights or new derivative datasets. So existing datasets can actually support new questions, methods, and new communities even, and reuse may lead to extensions or adaptations, re-annotations, or completely new datasets. But making reuse cases feasible helps document what works as of now in datasets publication and what does not yet. So the special collection adopted a broad view on what we were counting as language dataset reuse. So different modalities were welcomed, spoken corpora or written corpora, different languages, different disciplines and outcomes. And it was especially important for the special collection to highlight difficult cases and less successful cases of datasets reuse. So what was not working for the authors, especially in reusing a specific dataset. So I will give you just an overview of the special collection. So we had 9 papers in the process of publication. Some have been already published, and 4 countries represented in different affiliations. If a paper had authors from different countries, both countries are counted in the bar chart, and 41 keywords grouped into theme. So if we try to group the keywords into different themes, we have papers that discuss different standards, and in order to achieve a good level of interoperability for the data sets, so cross-linguistic data formats for typological data. The Chi Parla corpus pivot-based architecture, adopted standards for interoperability in syntactic annotation, such as universal dependencies. We have different corpora for different purposes and methodologies, so token-based typology, downsampling methods, annotation of spoken data. We have discussion about legacy resources and lexical resources, especially for Italian, and how repositories can help enhance data sharing and reuse. And then especially in a couple of papers, we saw that language datasets reuse usually happens in new technological contexts. So we have LLM matchmarking for historical Italian and automatic speech recognition from South Tyrolean dialect to standard German. So what we want to do in this CLARIN Café is not just like showcasing the papers that were published in the special collections, but especially to spark the discussion. So we want to connect case studies with reusable lessons for data creators, for curators, for infrastructures, and learn new lessons and craft good practices for researchers who want to deposit their data in the future. So what enables reuse? Perhaps data documentation, good data documentation, accurate metadata, repository visibility, choosing the right license, following the right standards, widely shared standards. What blocks reuse, what makes it more difficult, adopting weird formats, not really well documented, the sustainability of legacy resources, and datasets created with very domain-specific assumptions. And then the main question in this CLARIN Café is how can we design datasets for future reuse? And that is where, after discussion, we want you to jump in and bring your ideas onto the table and your feedback. So now we will have the speakers present their papers. You're free to ask your questions in the chat. I will gather the questions and we will have the discussion at the end of all the presentations.